Shoe shine, mister? Nice and smooth. Yeah, first I sharpened it, and then because the blade was loose like this, I started messing around with it and just turned it around, and it just touched my finger and cut it. So then I put this back on. But I evened this out. The hardest part, I wouldn't say the hardest. The toughest material to remove, of course, is metal. And the metal was sticking proud a little bit on the bottom side, I believe it. No, the top side, right here. And so I took it to my bench grinder, and I just roughly ground that. And then I took the sander, P400 emery cloth, basically, and smoothed out that. And it makes a difference. It feels a lot better in the hand with the not feeling anything, hearing no gap or a bump sticking up. And I just, sanded it down. That's really all you need to do to make this thing feel a lot better in hand. Not that it wouldn't have hurt, but when you're just cutting a steak or something, you put up with an imperfection in a handle. But if you want to refinish one like a factory second, don't be afraid to take a bench grinder to it or sandpaper. And I was using that 8-inch round bastard file. You bastard file. Yeah, I was using that. I've got it here somewhere. The brand new one that I found in the garbage a few years ago. I finally took it out of its plastic. So it has pretty fine teeth here. It's cross cut, so you can go either way. And I just basically was filing until I heard the sound of metal, like scraping on there. And I knew I'd gotten down to where it was even. But like I said, when I reached this part right here, the metal was sticking up, I'd say about maybe a millimeter, So I took it to the bench grinder and did all that to it. And now, like I said, it's much better fit on the handle. And it didn't take much. It's pretty fast with the bench grinder, and then just to touch it up, sandpaper and everything, you can sit down. I was watching TV, and when you want to go deep with it, use the rounded part. When you want to level it out, use the flat part. Pretty simple. And now all it really needs to do is restain the handle, probably. I don't know if it really needs restain. It maybe just oil it, and it'll absorb that. Make it darker. There you go. Just a little follow-up on what all it takes to fix these up. The sharpening I did on the Work Sharp, not the precision address, but the belt one. Just set it to 20 degrees. I took my leveling tool and the little magnet, and I set it for 90 degrees like this, and then I tried to match up the bevel with it, and I was getting from the factory anywhere from 25 to 30 degrees. I mean 22 to 30 degrees, depending on where it was at, but it seemed to be about, like, I set it to 20 on this one because it's a kitchen knife. And I just used the 6000 grit home. I didn't even go with the, remove metal a lot. I just pulled it through a few passes, and this thing's sharp. And then, of course, I cut myself. That's what I usually do. I sharpen the knife, and then I started handling without this protective cover on there and cut myself. Yeah, sure, why not? And here it is after just a little bit of mineral oil. A little bit of mineral oil on the handle. Yeah, I know, linseed oil. This is cotton ball stick to it. Linseed oil was probably better or whatever, but I had mineral oil. Work with what you got. So there you go. Not too much to spit this guy up and make him feel a lot better in the hand, and didn't take too much to sharpen it. I'd say my total time invested was probably maybe 30 minutes to an hour, just fiddling around, not really timing it, There you go. Hope you found that useful. It's a budget way of getting, it could have been rejected because that USA didn't say A all the way. It just depends on the quality control standards of the company, what they're rejected for. Of course, the handle wasn't fitted as well, but, if you've got a pit on the blade or something, or you already have rejected it for some other reasons, there's no use spending more time to make this better. But if it's your own and you get it as a second, you're saving some money, and so you're going to invest a little bit of time to match it up, but you don't have to. I mean, really, it really didn't even need that much of a sharpening. So here's a kind of before and after video comparison, right? So you have a little bit of gapping here. This one would be a lot easier to fix. See that metal raised up? That's where you're going to take most of your grinding. You're going to have to take the metal down to match the wood. But other than that, once you sand it down, this side didn't even sand this side. There's a little bit of roughness here. I could have sanded it. It's pieces of cotton stuck to it. But it turns out, like I said, you've got rough ends. That don't look like that much, but if you hold it and everything, you can tell the difference between a handle where it's fitted, properly. I think they call that hafting when they join the two together. I'm not sure. I heard that somewhere. Maybe I was dreaming. But now it's all nice and smooth and rounded and polished and oiled and ready to go. So, there you go. Thought I'd show you a comparison between the two differences and get this camera to focus. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.